Switch 2 is gonna die. Many of you already hyped about the new console, and most of you might think that this video is clickbait. If you think it's clickbait, you're free to leave, but I can guarantee you that sooner or later, people are gonna start complaining about the new console. Let's take a look at the first problem that the Switch 2 faces, which is performance issues. During the January 19th trailer, of the Switch 2, Nintendo revealed to us that the screen is gonna be 4K 120 FPS, and at the time it had VRR, which at the moment is reportedly has reportedly been removed from the Switch 2. Nintendo then confirmed to us that it's not 4K at 120 FPS, but 4K in quality mode when docked and 120 FPS in performance mode. So guys, Nintendo confirmed to us that the console is going to be 4K 60 FPS in quality mode and 120 FPS in performance mode, which is 1080p in resolution. So if that is, let's just like take what Nintendo told us about the screen. Now there is no VRR. There will be more stutters because VRR is responsible for refreshing. Is not also known as a variable refresh rate. It helps in like the smoothness between one frame to another frame. Without VRR, the transition from one frame to another frame is gonna look stuttery. So what are we gonna be saying for high-end games like Assassin's Creed Shadows, which is reportedly coming to the Switch 2, Elder Scroll 4 Oblivion Remastered, which some sources have reportedly rumors are moving around from sources saying that it's gonna be announced, but maybe it will be announced by Nintendo during the summer direct. What's it saying about games like that? Even games like Cyberpunk, which is already like confirmed for the Switch 2, is running very poorly because testing the Cyberpunk on the Switch 2, we have in quality mode below 30 FPS, sometimes dropping all the way to 15 FPS for running Cyberpunk at quality mode in handheld mode. Actually, even in the dock mode, we still have close to the same results because the performance is very poor. In performance mode, it's even struggling to keep up to 30 FPS, mostly around 28, 25 FPS. What's the point of having or telling us that the screen is going to be 4K 120 FPS when we can't even play games, most games at that setting? Nintendo, what's going on here? Because if you tell us something like that, how do you expect you are already like killing our trust, like they're destroying the trust between the console company and the audience. And with reports coming from sources like from retailers like Fnac, the French retailer, like Fnac, saying that most people getting the Switch 2 are PC gamers, are lovers of PC games. Then all these issues, the performance issues, can easily be noticed by people like them, and it's gonna give a bad image of the Switch 2 to more potential buyers. So guys, what are we saying here? Nintendo, the actual truth to it is that if Nintendo doesn't find something or do something to this, people are gonna hate the Switch 2. Moving on to the next point, we have battery life issues. Although the battery specs of the Switch 2 might seem better than that of the original Switch, we still have bad battery life timing, guys. We have bad battery time. The Switch, as we can see with the Switch 1, the Switch OLED actually, the battery life could last for around 9 hours of gameplay, minimal gameplay. But the Switch 2 is actually lasting 6.5 hours. Although the console comes with a 5200 mAh battery capacity, and the Switch 1 comes with a 4900, I think, battery capacity. What's then the difference? Why is the Switch 2 not performing better than the Switch 1, as Nintendo claims the battery capacity is better. Moving to the next point, Nintendo is making competition for themselves, guys. They're creating competition for themselves with such price of the Switch 2 being at around $500 for the Mario Kart bundle, and without the Mario Kart bundle, we're getting it at around $450. I'd rather buy something like the Steam Deck instead of buying the Switch 2, because since Switch 2 is priced at that price, it's already competing with other handheld consoles that can do better than it for that pricing, guys. It can do better than it. So what's the point of getting a Switch 2? Since most people, as the FNAC retailer might have revealed to us yesterday, that most people that are going to be getting the Switch 2 are PC gamers. Those are the new audience for the Switch 2 at the moment. We also have the original Switch owners, but given the specs and ability of the Switch 2 that Nintendo revealed to us, most people are now the PC gamers who want to see how exactly the Switch 2 is going to perform. Then moving on, we have overpriced games. As we have seen, Mario Kart cost around $80 for the digital. In some places, the physical edition cost $90. Donkey Kong is costing at around $70 for the digital and $80 for the physical in some regions. And these games are not even enough at launch. There are only two games, which is the Donkey Kong and Mario Kart. And normally, when a console launches, it should have enough exclusive games so that there will be a reason for people to buy the console. But with only two games, how will you convince a new Switch buyer to get a console like that? Since most games, there's not enough exclusive games. Something similar seems like it wants to be happening to the Switch 2, as it has happened for the PS5. When it launched, there were no exclusive games except for the Astro Bot game, which was the only exclusive game to the PS5. Aside from that, no other games launched with the PS5, and that's why the PS5 was one of the worst selling consoles. It's just recently that we now started seeing some more exclusive game, like 3 years later. Is that what we're going to be expecting from the Switch 2? Because most exclusive games are going to be launching at around 4-6 months after the launch of the console. Other games are going to be ports and backward compatible games. Going to be ports and backward compatible games. So guys, the last point is there will be I've said that, okay, not enough exclusive games at launch. Like I said, most games, there are not enough exclusive games at launch for the Switch 2. Someone like me cannot be convinced to get a Switch 2 at launch because I do not see enough exclusive games for it. There would be no reason for me to get it than me using my original Switch console. Guys, if you watch to this point in the video, please subscribe. If you're new to my channel, subscribe, hit the bell icon to get more of my content. I've just given you my own opinion. It's not a guarantee that the Switch 2 is gonna die, but you guys can give me yours. Leave a comment in the comment sections to give me your own opinion based on this topic, and see you guys in the next one.